This point, right? PK beat this team 2-0 in a dominating fashion last week. Why can't they do it again? They've already lost 5-1 on Harbor, and I think they're angry, and now it's become personal. We'll find out how this story is going to unfold. Off the rip, though, we are going to see Identitas looking to blindside one. Monkeys will fall, now force the attention onto Dezo, his old teammate. Right there he goes, and right there he falls. Now C is just in the line of sight, and he's going to go ahead and take it. Meanwhile, the mid-fight is underway. Raver also drops. It looks like everywhere I look, Rebel are winning their fights.
And it's looking like they're going to go for a triple cap domination already. It's going to be up to Monkeys here in this situation. Going against his old captain, Identitas. There's a lot of damage being dealt out. Monkeys, though, he's going to get that break. He's going to prolong the round for now, but Danny doesn't look like he's giving up just yet, and he gets that big elimination. He actually gets a second one as well with the help of Crack, and people don't forget Crack and Danny were a huge duo on Nice, and exactly, he's down towards the hill. Who left him down? Who left him down? You saw it. Call him out.
He bled out. He bled out. Brother, that could have been devastating, man. Summons just about single-handedly kept that round alive for PK, but he ended up falling, unfortunately. But that's why you get your finishes, Jacob. Getting your finishes are important.
It definitely is, and we've seen that happening literally since the first Pro League Gears of War 5. I've seen franchise leave praise down, lose the round, become of it. It's season after season, Pro League after Pro League, they become those mistakes. But I will say, this split more than ever before, I've seen players stagger death after death, and it work out. So these players are finally catching on to that extra mechanic, that extra bit of time they can take advantage of. But you need to be careful, because moments like that will happen if you're not accurate.
Well, if you count the rounds from Harbor now to here, it is currently 6-1 as Rebel is really starting to take off. PK needs to find an answer. Starts with this mid-battle, and Dezo finds Demon off. Oh, no, what? Dezo, I totally thought Dezo was going to be able to take him down, but he doesn't. Demon clutches up, and now from the backside is going to be Demon once again onto Summons. You got to watch out for Demon. He's slippery, and you never know where he's going to be.
Already leaving everybody down. He's going to have 0 kills at the end of this round, but he's making such a huge impact for this roster. Monkeys now needs to eliminate 2 big players while getting Lancered in the back. It's not going to come through, and I even said it, the Pittsburgh Knights can surely get back into this one. This map suits their playstyle, but momentum is a thing. Just like you can take it away, you can continue to build upon it, and that's exactly what Rebel is doing. And I don't know how many deaths he had, but Demon, 0 eliminations, 8 assists for his team. He is just being a full-on support player, exactly what almost any roster needs, not just this Rebel one.
PK said enough is enough, man. If you guys really want to be aggressive and you think you can outslay us, well, let's prove it. Let's go head-to-head. And that's exactly what they're about to do over in Cinema. Let's get it going. That drop shot's going to command everybody to go for it. Unless we might see a couple players go mid. So we will see those players go mid. Typically in the 5v5, right, everybody would kind of just go in. But regardless, though, Identitas leading the charge. He does, Raver is going to be hit with a stun. So, no, Dezo takes down Raver. That's devastating. The drop shot should all be Rebels at this point in time. Identitas gets a nice shot on one. Now he's going to force his attention down low onto Summons. Summons literally freaking out, trying to get out of there, and he can't. The drop shot goes to Rebel, and the Crack is going to go ahead and let him know that I'm ready to play. The drop shot is mine, and this round is about to be ours as well.
And at one point, Danny, when he got released, he was a restricted free agent. I don't know how much Rebel had to pay for this man. He's the $1 million player right now, the way he's coming up clutch, as Rebel looking like they're on the back foot for just a moment. But there goes the answer back coming out from Crack, able to get that elimination. So even though Raver is going to get this elimination, if you look at the other side of the map, that go ahead and get a man advantage, a possible 1v2 scenario, but Summons gets that elimination, and that's going to be a big trade coming through, because now Demon has to be careful. I was going to say he can't even go ahead and backtrack, because he will take as much damage as he had, and this is not looking good. One great play, being muffled out, especially if he does go down here.
Every kill PK gets at this point is going to be hugely beneficial, or else Rebel's going to be all over Charlie. And Rebel does have a moment to spare if they want to get out of here, but as Monkey falls, Dezo needs to fall as well, and he doesn't. So he clutches up. That's going to force Rebel back. So good job winning those critical fights when needed, and Dezo was the player to do so. Even still, Rebel has a decent lead, and PK has a lot of ground to cover, but they're making good on it. Those 3 players now can come from mid, go down onto B, and force Crack out of position. position. But he does have the drop shot. I don't know if he's used it as of yet, and he has the potential to use it if he does have that extra one. But regardless, it's out of the way. It's been backpacked, and I don't know if the fresh one's about to be up. But PK's not going to waste any time, Jacob. They're pushing in, and they're trying to get the domination.
Big kills coming through from Monkeys. Player is down over the top. Great revive coming through. Demon goes down as well. The last seconds of the round, Pittsburgh Knights making right plays at the right time, not missing certain shots. Cardio gets the elimination, but he's not close enough to get towards the hill. So PK in 2 minutes and 14 seconds win their first round of map number 2. But with that drop shot going down towards the top side, when I talked about District coming into this one, about how it could be spread out, how you could see a lot of different team play, that drop shot is going to narrow down the team play. Like I said, the map is going to become smaller and smaller once these big weapons do get placed down, and it becomes more of a shotgun fight instead of a Lancer team play. But that retro, once look over towards Cinema, that's going to put a lot of damage out from anybody who finds himself peeking for these shots.
More importantly, you know, I think it was just Dezo clutching up where he needed to over in info. He doesn't win that fight. Well, they could be in dire straits. Rebel would be all over the home hill. We could be looking at a 3-0 deficit for PK. But hey, Dezo clutches up. That's exactly why he's on that Pittsburgh Knights roster. But now PK, once again, going into the blender. Remember, Rebel won this initial last time with ease, and it looks like they're going to be doing so again. Identis finds an angle, comes through, gets the finishes alongside Crack and Demon, who will pick up that drop shot. Now, Rebel, I don't think we're going to waste their time as well. I say that as Crack gets the finish. Okay, he could be sprinting over, helping his teammates go for the domination, but showing a little love was more important.
I go for a domination when you can go for an execution. Cardio, nice well-placed flash, though, and to continue to take out Dezonide. You got to be careful, though, here. All the confidence in the world, rightfully so, rightfully earned by Rebel, but you need to be careful when you're playing with their food. This is map number 2. If you guys are just tuning in, 1-0, Rebel is up. 3-1. They're looking like they want to make that spot theirs in the grand finals.
Okay, solid win. I think that's what they meant to do in the last round, but they capitalized on it here. So funny, man. You get the execution instead of the domination, but you end up getting both. So it's like the cherry on top, if you will. Shocks are down retro as well. Those shocks are going to be nice, especially for Rebel. They're going to be able to throw that out, shut down a lane of attack for the drop. They've already been winning their fights here, so that shock is only going to benefit them here. They have to pick it up, unless they might not see it's worth it. And yeah, they're just going to pass it up. I would have liked to have seen it, but I guess it's just a little bit too fast.
You need to get in there. You need to get the positioning. That is what's going to be important. Danny going in with the well-placed flash grenades. They're going to get that drop shot out, and he's immediately going to connect with Monkeys. Nice. 2 players dead on the side of the Pittsburgh Knights as Dezonide falls. Raver is going to be next on the list. Someone's in the middle. He's already down. 4 players dead in the blink of an eye. Triple cap domination sounding off, and there is zero momentum, zero life on the side of the Pittsburgh Knights. I don't even know if they think the semifinals started yet or not. Is this a warm-up? What am I watching?
You know, what you're watching, truthfully, is a storyline developing, Jacob. And I think that's the most beautiful thing here that I enjoy is like, last week, PK wins 2-0. Rebel just didn't have it together. 1 week later, Rebel is all of a sudden now about to beat, or at least on the cusp of beating PK with a series score, total round count of a 10-2, right? So that is a huge improvement, a way to turn things around. But I think it's going to be a wake-up call for PK. Last week, they lose to FNI, another Latin American team, and this week they might lose to Rebel, another Latin American team. And PK might quickly be realizing we might not be the top dogs like we once were. And that's going to light a fuel under them to start improving. But for Rebel, it's only going to make them that much more arrogant, and I think that's going to be a fun thing to watch. Crack will stop, smell the roses, and pick up the shock this time. He feels it's going to be beneficial.
Beneficial indeed. Someone's just stuck towards the backside, but great downs, great eliminations. Probably tossed it a little too far down, and Raver doesn't want to win, killing his teammate. And if you guys haven't been paying attention to the changes, there's only 1 drop shot in the drop, so he's not going to have it to use anymore. Cardio going to be the last hope for Rebel here. He gets spotted out, he gets lancered out, and it does look like Rebel's going to spawn up and try to overextend towards this neutral. They're not even going to waste their time fighting against the numbers of the Knights, and I think this is an A1 play for Rebel.
Yep, Rebel looking to prioritize E at this point, maybe reallocate PK, who, mind you, are pretty spread out, right? So PK is spread out as they are. They might be isolated, which, speaking of which, look at player 7. He might be in a 2v1 relatively soon. Now, granted, they're going to both be in side of info. Now, Raver gonna have to hold his own here against Cardia as the flash does get thrown out. That is a great elimination. Oh, not an elimination as Vita's Crack is gonna be there, but he finishes up Demon. He'll also finish up Crack, and that's gonna be another 4 down. And PK looks as if they're gonna be able to lock in this round and bring it 4-2. And it's about time.
I like how they stagger the death for a moment, but sometimes you don't want to do it. Like I said, players are still learning the intricacies, the ins and outs of staggering the deaths, when to get the elimination, when not to get the elimination. But those players could have spawned up. That could have been terrible news with well-placed flash grenades, but luckily they didn't even get close. But you got to make sure to take every situation carefully here. So going into this next one, you see the retro towards the low side of Boltok as well. Honestly, I want to see one of these teams upgrade their shot grenades, but if you're in the side of PK, slowly, surely trying to make a comeback, you see they're flooding over the middle. I don't disagree with that either, as instances make their appearance. Usually you have a 1v1 going down towards the middle, and I do think PK has been winning it recently, so they're going to be gifted a instant grenade if they do, but there goes a plan B, a backup plan for Rebel as they set those instants down low.
I don't think Crack is going to stop for that shock anymore. I think he feels there's too much value in pushing in for that fight. Because remember, he stopped. There was less member presence for Cinema for that drop shot. So you see it. He's just going to give it up. He's just going to go ahead and go straight for it. Meanwhile, we'll keep an eye out on that mid battle. PK, though, I think got a little bit of added confidence. They're going to be pushing it strong. That's going to be a misroll, but Dezo will fall to the wayside now as Crack will pick him up. Monkeys. Well, oh, Monkeys actually gets one. So now it's just a good old-fashioned 1v1. Both players full red, and Monkeys will clutch up. Take the drop shot, and that's 3 down for Rebel.
Be careful though in the middle. Those instances were still in play. Cardia backtracking. And by him backtracking, it means multiple players from the Knights are going to have to not only find him, but try to get that elimination as well. So anybody who distracts, this is a huge bonus play. That elimination, though, that is going to be massive for Cardia and Rebel as they look to bounce back after a lost initial. They need to be careful here for Monkeys in that drop shot, but Monkeys has to be very selective with that drop shot as well. He can't just fly that one out and kill any random player on Rebels. You need to make sure it's impactful, because like I stated earlier, you only get 1 this time around rather than 2.
Correct. And Danny, instant in hand, looking to take down Raver, who's going to be in that corner. This is going to be a textbook kill you would have to take. Well, because he just throws it all the way over to the right now. I guess he can make. Oh, he does get the down though. Nice shot, but full red. Monkeys will clean him up. Now you got Raver, who's going to be lancered out. Either way, though, it's not too devastating as Rebel still holds on to the neutral. Shock is going to be thrown, but now the presence in mid is there, and Dezo's looking to take down Cardi, and he will. Ooh.
Nice pair of kills there for the Knights as they're still trying to come back from this one. Nobody capping the hills just yet. Monkey's going to have to backtrack to make that one go through, but he's trying to be ready for this push that should come through from Rebel. You got 2 players stacking towards the top side, but there's also the possibility of the drop shot being up as well. So Danny's going to go ahead and take that positioning towards the top side. Dezo actually gets caught out. Massive shots by Crack. Almost looked like he had wall hacks or something.
He really did it. Crack's going to let him. Let me tell you, if it's not a personal match between anybody else, it is personal to Crack, man. That guy has been showing love to literally every player he's down. He is just having a field day. This is like literally going to Six Flags for this man. Monkeys, tough situation, 1v2. Not a lot he can do. Caught out there. Who's there for the finish? Of course, it's going to be Crack, right? Crack is there, it seems, to always finish off the down player. But the scoreline is close, Jacob. And Rebel's now on all 3 hills, and this might be it. I think it is, in fact, going to be, as Raver doesn't even attempt to push in. You got player 9 at 0 spawning up, and PK will, in fact, be eliminated in semifinals. Total round count between the 2 maps, 10-3. Rebel stepped it up, and they answered back from last week.
They're showing that might not be the team that you expect to be on top, but we're going to come out on top, make a name for not only ourselves as a new roster, but for Rebel as well. Congratulations to them advancing towards our grand finals. Now on the other side of things, Fire Nice lead 1-0 over Hive, 3-2 on this map. Fire Nice looking like they want to close it out and have an all Latin American finals again.
Absolutely. Hey, for you NA fans out there, including myself, hey, we might be in trouble. I'm not going to lie. Latin America is looking strong at this point in time, and you guys might be winning your first major come at the end of split number 2. Either way, though, TJ fighting for his life here, trying to make it happen, but falls a little bit short. And it looks as if it might be Fire and Ice holding on and bringing it 4-2. And that's going to put them on map point, series point.
Obviously, barring any miracles, they should win, but players like Toady, they're not even going to make an effort to try to go all the way across. They don't even want to get in that exchange. And I hope you're at least talking about strategy, because right now Hive is going to tie it up 3 rounds apiece, figuring out how you're going to answer that back, how to gain the momentum on your side, because I said tied up 3-3. It's actually 4-2.
I think.
Hive.
Yeah.
This is looking
it's going to be
good for
Hive leading 4-2. Yeah, it's Hive leading 4-2 at this point. So my apologies for that. So, hey, with this being said, man, hey, they haven't won Foundation yet, Jacob. We talked about that coming into this, right? That was the narrative. And now you got, as I said, now you have Hive, who's going to be on map point looking to force a game number 3. And if they do, and they go into District, Fire and Ice lost that earlier, Hive might be able to turn this series around.
They got to hopefully try to piece things together, because if they do lose in this 2-0 fashion like I predicted, that's got to do something to your mental going into the challengers, right? In Sunday, going into that Monday finals, if you do make it there, because these are on 2 separate sides of the bracket. Going into another opportunity, Hive has to be able to pull it together here. Start to go and show that you have a fighting chance against this F&I squad, but TJ goes down early. Flash grenade towards the top side of the map. Exploits, though, not going to be able to get there in time, but he's going to continue his aggressive setup. Dyslexic does get taken out, though. The numbers game does catch up, but the rotation is going to continue for Exploits. Tody finds himself dying just like the rest of them. Exploits falls as well, so not the best start for F&I.
Down they go!
Not at all. And Hive continues to get even richer as they're going to be pushing it onto player 8. Dyslexic, who now needs to hold his own. He's been in 1v2s. He's clutched up, but not this time. Falls a bit short. Enzim gets to break. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about to head into a game number 3 in this series. Unless Exploits can pull off some heroics, F&I does have some presence here. And Enzim and Solar's looking to hold on, but hey, there might be some life yet for the boys on F&I. Tony does get the break. Solar's full red. He will drop Noe there now. 1v2. He'll get the finish onto 1, but eventually falls, and, well, F&I stays up.
They got to go. They got to immediately try to run over to the other side of the map, or at least try to set up, because it's still early on in this one. I looked at the score right now. I spoke a little too soon here, so there's an opportunity for Fire and Ice to slowly catch up back into this one, but a lot of damage going on in them. Dyslexic tries to go for a last-ditch effort attempt. A retro shot's being fired back. Dyslexic is going to continue his aggression along with Tody, 2 of the big players I spoke about kind of to start the season off. Obviously, everybody here is making a clutch play after clutch play, and there it continues. On the brink of defeat, Fire and Ice answer back into this round and go ahead and go up 3 rounds to 4. Hive still lead, but that's how you get the momentum on your side. You got to go ahead and stop the bleeding there and then build upon it from here on out.
Absolutely. This right here is going to be a pretty decent comeback, and I think it's going to be pretty demoralizing for Hive, right, to be on the cusp of victory and to allow Fire and Ice to get back into the saddle, get back into the driver's seat. It's not something they are looking forward to. It's only going to make, I think, the appearance of F&I being one of the best teams out there ever more apparent. The statue is going to see a Marksa placed. It's not the craziest thing placed down, but it's at least something. Meanwhile, on the other side, Hive is going to do the smart thing. They're going to use their disable, take out the ensign. And this is a round that is a must win, because you already know as we head into round 9, if we get to that point, there's going to be a disable out onto the ensign on the other side, well, the ensign or the shock for the side of Hive. So with that being said, this is a must win for Hive.
It definitely is a must-win if Hive's looking to go and go to a map number 3, because their chances of winning are just going to go down, just like you said. So this initial huge opportunity here. There goes Dyslexic getting taken advantage of. Well-placed flash guard. Incendiary grenade towards the back end, forcing him to move. TJ is going to get that kill and the Marksa. But if you notice, Fire and Ice not overextending anywhere, not rotating around the map. They don't want to get caught out of position as they are down a man. They're just going to wait for Dyslexic to get right back up and then use the information possible. But look at that. Dyslexic goes for the 1v1 scenario towards the bottom half of the map. Trades off with Fiercely to get into the team fight. Take note of that if you guys are trying to study up for this Fire and Ice squad.
All right. Fire and Ice, what's the answer here? Honestly, based on their positioning, I think they could break this defensive setup. I really do. Despite TJ having that mark size, I still feel the break is absolutely possible, especially with player 9 coming down low, and that's going to be Tody. So it starts with the player up top. He's going to have to kind of separate out TJ, and he does so. He drops him, and that is exactly what he needed to do. Now, Noe's going to go back for the pickup, and he's getting Lancer. Now that's 2 down. F&I gets to break on E, and the door is wide open for Fiercely to go for the OE.
He probably thought it was a Lancer too, but that was a full-blown retro, just mowing down Hive on one side of the map. Dyslexic doing the same thing on the other side of the map. He needs to figure out a way to pull out that retro and put it to use. Immediately does it down Solars. Now Enza finds himself in such a tough spot, but the game is now on your shoulders here on one side of the map, but it's going to be prolonged actually on the other as TJ getting the crucial elimination on Fiercely. I thought FNI was going to be able to hold on because I do think these are some of the harder hills to break offensively, but 2 hills for Fire and Ice. The score is going to switch on over and give them the lead here, but still plenty of Gears of War left, and Hive has multiple opportunities here. If they attack now, they will have another one, but they have to be careful here to not get wiped as a unit.
Yeah. No, 100%, because you already know, Jacob, like, the writing's on the wall. If Hive doesn't successfully secure E here and they get wiped, it's pretty much going to be the round, and we're heading to round 9, right? So this is a must-win, but for Noah, he already falls. Enzim's going for the pickup, but to no avail. He will, in fact, drop. So Enzim now is going to be in a 1v2 theoretically, as Dyslexic is going to be pushing up full red. They know. They smell blood in the water, and they will take him down. E still in the hands of FNI. And Jacob, I think you're with me here. This round is all but over, and we're about to head into round 9.
Yeah, this is going to look scary too, TJ. He needs a miracle. I don't want to go around number 9 against that lock that they are waiting in their back pocket. You spoke about it early on in the last weapon selection, and it does look like they're going to have to face a tough round number 9 if you're on the side of Hive. But Fire and Ice, the momentum has definitely switched on over. You stopped the bleeding, you built it on back up towards your side. You have both an opportunity here to put a lock on their side. So you got Incense, you got Retro, you got an opportunity at a Marxa going up against what could possibly be just a Marxa and a shot grenade. Maybe they put something down center line to find a force to fight in a different area. I think
that's the play. I really do. Center line is the play, because you really have the utility you need to work with, minus, of course, which is going to be the ensign. We already know. Fiercely, come on, there we go. The suspense is killing me. Didn't know what you're going to do. But now TJ's really got a big decision. I think something midline makes sense, right? You want to change up the fight because what is happening in the second half just isn't working. And Pistons is that play. Now you're going into it. You're not, granted, you're going to be going against Retro, but you do have the shock. And the frags do make a difference. I think that was the best play they could have made.
I think they're not even going to go towards statue side. I think this is an opportunity here to catch somebody off guard. If anybody gets sent over towards statue side, you can immediately take advantage of the double home setup, especially if you're Hive. You'll have a shot grenade and frags if you find a way to win it. They're sending 2 people in the middle. This could be the key. The adjustment coming through. Inzim does look like he's going to go for the elimination first. If they get this elimination, they can easily try to go for home hill to home hill.
Absolutely, and that home hill to home hill is going to be devastating, especially with the positioning that Hive is currently in, but some kills are going to come to the way of Hive. Toady will fall. It's Fire and Ice. We'll pick up yet another. The frags are going to be picked up by Ensign. So Hive has what they need to make this successful, and no, a full red will stay up, and the break on F will go through as Hive gets the 2-to-1 hill advantage, starts closing out that deficit. Fire and Ice pretty spread thin. They're going to really have to come together if they want to try and retake their home hill. In the meantime, though, if I'm Hive, I'm really thinking, how do I get over to E?
Know how to go right now. The Hive should just be working for a defense right now. You can't have players going down like that. That's well played flash. Frag grenade answered back. That's gonna put a stop to it. He actually doesn't get taken out by the frag. A second frag grenade going out. Nobody dying just yet. Fiercely does go down though. Inzum gets traded out. No, he saves the day. This is massive for Hive. Big plays all around. Solars needs to stay alive. He gets the elimination as well. So they went ahead and traded these hills. Fire and Ice were in the driver's seat with both of those home hills, but now they're down towards the back end. They now have to offensively figure out how to make this work as Inzum wants to close out this game. He's getting in position with a 2v1 on over towards this home hill to go ahead and switch it again and keep the hills rotating in their favor.
Ooh, here we go. This is getting close. Must win for Hive if they want to stay alive in this series, ladies and gentlemen. If Hive wants to finally beat Fire and Ice on Foundation, it comes down to this very round here. Solars, tough situation, 1v2, and he's going to get out-angled. Fiercely will take him down from behind, and now it's going to be that 2-to-1 hill advantage, but it doesn't mean they're going to get easily. Noe is there to snub them out, Fiercely dancing around, and Fire and Ice now starts closing out the deficit. But still, though, this is a position that is so hard to maintain, and eventually Hive should be able to retake their home hill. So I'm curious what Fire and Ice's answer is after this positioning. And now it's a 2v2. Solars falls, and it's Fire and Ice holding on to the home hill of Hive.
That's crazy right now. Toady just has to be careful here. Don't get over aggressive. Let your team do the fighting for you on one side of the map while you're just sitting there trying to control what TJ could be doing for his squad. TJ needs to go big here. You're letting the score click on over in Fire Nice's favor. They want to try to solidify this neutral. Enzum gets a massive down on Fiercely. TJ and Enzum working together to try to sandwich these players. Well placed instant grenade. TJ going big. Dyslexic by his lonesome. Fiercely on one side of the map. Decaps are going to trade. Fire Nice still in the lead here. The only team getting points for a few moments. Nobody in position of the neutral. This is looking like it's over.
Got to stop Noe. You have to stop Noe in this situation, but Fire Nice has such a commanding lead. You also got to get the break on E. It's an impossible situation for Hive to be in. It is a Noe does fall. Fire and Ice will be successful in taking the reverse comeback and taking this round 5-3 and solidifying the series 2-0 as F&I will once again be in grand finals.
That was great plays by Hive to open up that one. I kind of read that play. As soon as that weapon was placed towards the low side, I saw that there was no reason for Hive to go over towards Statue, especially since that's where the instant